Have you ever worried so much about messing up a presentation that you put it off until the last minute? This happens to me a lot, and it has since high school. My name is Malala Fau, and today I will be talking to you guys about speaking to a public audience, specifically with speeches. Um, Before I give a speech, I often go through what's called communication apprehension. This is where I have a lot of symptoms of anxiety before my speech. For example, my heart will beat pretty fast, my hands will get sweaty, and I will have these negative thoughts going through my head. For example, I can think about how I will forget what I'm going to say in my speech or just fear of messing up. This fear of messing up turns into something that is called speech anxiety. This is where instead of practicing, I mess up and I procrastinate instead. This is where I will find any distractions for myself that will take me away from the task that should be on hand and that should be prioritized. I will find little distractions that will distract me, like going on my phone, cleaning my room, or hanging out with my friends. Anything to avoid my problem at task. But waiting only increases my anxiety and makes it more stressed for me to go through. This is because I now have less time to prepare for my presentation and for my speech because I've taken all this time to have negative thoughts. It also makes me more stressed out because these negative thoughts bounce off of each other and make it all a lot worse than if I would have just completed my task in the little amount of time that I gave myself. I have two solutions to this. First, I use something called mental rehearsal. This is where I picture myself giving the speech before I even take the speech. When I do this, I go through my speech that I have written down and through my bullet points, and I realize what mistakes I could make while going through my speech. When I realize these mistakes, because no one knows you better than you know yourself. So when I understand these mistakes that I predict myself will make, I fix them before it even can occur. When I picture myself fixing them, I also remind myself that messing up is not the end of the world. Messing up is the only way to learn and to improve yourself when you don't have the knowledge for what you've done. Secondly, to fix my anxiety, I will spread out my task best as I can. This makes it a lot less overwhelming because I don't have a ton of information in my face immediately before working for my speech. I also only study at first my introduction. This will give me a set understanding of what my speech will be, and it gives my brain the ability to understand really quickly what will happen. As I finish my introduction, I work up to the full speech. Doing this makes it feel a lot less overwhelming and it keeps me from procrastinating and constantly putting off my task. These steps that I take do not erase my nerves, but they definitely diminish them. It helps me manage my nerves a lot more with being able to take deep breaths and understanding these two components. My third component is body language. Body language lets me keep a professional presence no matter how my speech is going. For example, I will stand with good posture and stand tall. I will make eye contact with the camera or the audience, and I will speak as clearly and make my articulation as clear as possible. Even if I still feel nervous, I come across more confident and able to give my speech to this audience. In conclusion, I've realized that my fear of messing up will never totally go away, but I can diminish it and control it the best that I can. I know myself better than anyone else knows them. I know myself better than anyone else knows me, and I try to focus on this. I, when I have good body language, I'm able to focus on a professional presence and I handle my speech anxiety better. And I actually feel proud when I'm able to finish a presentation and finish a speech correctly.